Get up. Get up and fight.
When she was younger, she would lay in the grass and stare at the clouds. And then she saw them. Elusive, shifting faces. After a while, she could see the faces everywhere. The trees, the mountains, caves. I wonder, can you see the faces too? They're there, if you look for them.
Mother? Senua, you have the sight, just like I do. Once you can see into the underworld and all the souls within it will see you. Don't be afraid when they speak to you. I will always be here to guide you.
Did you see her? That was her mother, Galina. She was a priestess, a healer.
With the mark of Valravan and the mark of Surt, you may cross the bridge over the River of Knives to Helheim.
Why is she waiting? Open the gate! Open the gate! No, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Don't open the gate. Don't. She's done it. It's so dark. It's dark. The dark. Only the dead may cross. Only the dead may cross into hell. Dead may cross.
Truth? Anyone?
There is no one here but me.
Not you.
Did you think that I would let you go? That you lost me back in the wilds? I will never let you go. You can't get rid of me. I am your shadow. And I will be watching when you draw your last dying gasp.
I'm not ready to die.
You will be when you see what they did to your dear beloved.
Damien!
In this waking nightmare, where all dreams come true, you searched for control, a way to pull through. When you were in love, you left him in tears, to smother your furies and banish your fears. But in darkness they came, through stormy black seas they raided these shores. Do you still hear his screams? And now that you're home, he's so far away. They've taken his soul. To these gods you cannot pray. They can break you, but not your promise. Even death won't keep you apart. Through his darkness you will find him. In your sword still beats a heart. You fought for love unspoilt by your darkness within. You fought for your dreams. Now there's no way to win. In the head of his corpse lies the seat of his soul. So you must carry his vessel to bring him back home. They can break you, but not your promise. Even death won't keep you apart. Through this darkness you will find him. In your sword still beats a heart. The darkness touched you. Everyone could see it in the hollows of your eyes. A gaze averted from life. You ran from it but brought it nearer. Led it to him. An endless suffering worse than death. And you wanted to surrender. Abandon him to find peace with the gods. No. The darkness won't allow it. So you will walk into the lair of the beast. Look it in the eye, and you will go to war. This is your mission. This is your quest. There is nothing else left. The gods made you a warrior for a reason. It's your calling. road ahead. The only one that makes any sense.
Take him down! End it!
Every gate you open into darkness brings another challenge.
Get up quick! It's not over! It's not over!
The journey to Helheim is never a straight one. Each must find their own path. Align yourself to its secrets.
However you come to the gold-covered bridge that leads to Hell, you may find it guarded by a giantess. She will ask your name, She will ask your lineage. She will ask your business. The Northmen tell of the warrior woman Brynhild, who leapt into fire and rode to hell to join her slain love Sigurd, and is challenged by the giantess.
gate. It's opening.
Who is it?
It's coming.
That song again.
Is it?
It's Hela.
Yes, the source of the darkness. It's coming. This is your moment.
I'm sorry. I can't watch this.
What are you doing? You're showing weakness. You're not a warrior. You're a disgrace. The gods will punish you for this. Pick up the sword. Pick it up. Fight the darkness. Fight it. Get up. Get up. Get up and fight!
Hell is reaching deep inside of her. Stormy seas and lost souls. She's dreamt of this before. They say dreams are visions of our memories, thoughts, and fears, as seen by our inner eye. But what if each one of us is always dreaming, even when awake, and we only see what our inner eye creates for us? Is this what hell is? A world shaped by Senua's nightmares. Maybe that's why people feared seeing the world through her eyes. Because if you believe that Senua's reality is twisted, you must accept that yours might be too.
You failed the gods. You're pathetic. Rotten. Cursed. What were you thinking? Did you really think you could win? How stupid can you be?
So stupid.
Everyone hates her. She's cursed.
The shadow hates.
Look at you. A warrior. Worthless. Weak. Pathetic. Go on. Feel sorry for yourself, because there is no one left to do that for you.
Everywhere. You failed. What's that?
Take it. If you're too much of a coward to fight, then end the suffering. Broken and lost. Just like your sword.
Come on. Dare.
Why go on when you give everything and face that which torments you, only to find that it is worse than you could have imagined? Why go on? Is it really so weak to ask this? Or are we just so afraid of the honest answer that we do not dare pose the question? Sometimes the answer lies in a memory, a feeling, a song.
It's not real. It's a trick. It's not real. It's real. Listen to it.
Don't give up.
Dillian. It's
Not like this.
It's not real. It's real. It's a trick. Don't trust it. Maybe you're already dead.
Who are you?
Do you still believe in yourself?
Enough. It's a trick. It's a trick. He's already dead. You know he can't be here. It's impossible.
Dillian.
Come to me. Please.
The light. Go towards the light. It's him. There he is. It can't be him. It's just a trick. It's in your mind.
No, he's here.
It's in your mind.
It's real. It's happening.
Go towards it. There it is. Your imagination. It's Dillian. He's gone. You were too slow.
How could you?
Keep going.
How could you?
Keep going. Ignore the pain.
I told you it was to trick you. I told you.
Where are you going?
See,
There's nothing to follow.
come on.
Before she first met him, she was not in a good place. Just a teenager, but not like the others. Barely functioning, she rarely left the house. Her father's in-bow made sure of that. Only occasionally did she venture out on her own, collecting firewood and herbs. Errands out in the Orkney Plains. That was her world. Like this one. Barren and lonely.
It's not real. Do you really? You want to believe it's real, but it's a trick. Where are you going? Where is she going? What is she following? You can't even fight. It's just
How
deception.
does he so effortlessly court the world and bliss? If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew and dance with it, just like he does.
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't leave home much.
Oh, Zeno's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait. Who taught you to fight like that?
No one.
No one?
Well, I watched you, and
You learnt all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior, you know.
me?
I'm Dillian. I'm here for the warrior trials. Just come and watch. And bring your sword.
You can't put it into words. That moment when you look into the eyes of the one who is supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part of who you are.
You killed him.
But her world changed the day the Northmen took him from her. Senua knows that there's no going back to how things were. That there's nothing to go back to at all.
Stay still, stay quiet, hide, don't tell her.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use this power to destroy you.
They won't stop me. I can still feel him.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here.
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone.
You will die here.
No.
And all your suffering will have been for nothing.
Shut up! Dillian? Is that you? I'll find you, my love. I promise.
Can you see him? You want to believe it. Is he not real? Is he there? You're alone in these mountains. Is that Dillian? Nothing lives here. Take it. A sword. Take it. Dillian left it for you. Take it. Take it. Take it.
happening?
Senua, imagine a sword that can slay gods.
Drew?
Its name is Gram. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said a great warrior can reforge Gram by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard.
I want to tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder. The second son of Odin. He was beautiful, good, and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die.
You've come this far, but the bridge is broken.
There's no way you can fix it.
What do you do now, Senua?
What is it?
What does it see?
It's safe here. It's calm here. It's light here. It's nice.
The bridge. It's not broken. It's fixed.
What happened?
The bridge is fixed.
Let's cross it.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Balder dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Balder's mother makes everything in the wear an oath not to harm her son. One by one.
The gate is open. Go through the gate.
Go through it.
It's terrible.
Dillion.
There he is.
There he is.
What are you waiting for?
Quick, find a way.
Find him.
Go through.
Before he disappears.
Dillion, don't lose him.
Way too many times.
Always let him disappear.
Dillion, there he is.
Quick. Do you know?
Where is he?
Where's he gone?
Yours. We're in the wrong.
The other one.
He's in the dark world.
The dark.
The dark world.
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillian taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of colour stretching away from the gloom. And Senua explored new paths into the unknown.
He cared in a way that nobody else did.
You've got it.
Do you remember how he made you feel?
He's gone. He's in the dark world.
He's gone to the dark world.
You're in the wrong world.
He's the reason she's alive at all.
Where are you taking? He's up there.
He's up there.
How do you get up there?
There's a way. There is a way up there.
Find the way.
She can do it.
You're nearly there. Just find the way.
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking part.
Dillian doesn't know who killed him.
Nobody will love her now.
Can you remember what love feels like?
Look what happens to the things she loves. She destroys the things she loves.
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf, and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes, and the rollers burst into flames.
Years had passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillian. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement. An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds. That of Zinbel and her past, and Dillian, her future.
Doesn't know who killed him, but we do.
Two realities tearing at her soul.
Wasting your time. You have no time for this. Speed up. They are just to tire you out, to make you weak before the battle.
Led you astray.
You should have listened to your father when you had the chance.
Why didn't you listen to him?
This love has taught you. Look what happens to the things you love. Bring in your ear.
Do you remember the way he touched you? What if they're all about wasting your time, just delaying minute by minute by minute?
It could all be a waste of her time. What if the gods are just toys? if the gods are laughing at her?
Messing with her.
It wouldn't be
this. Be the first time.
He was the only one that didn't mind the curse.
He loved her so much. Do you remember the way he looked?
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Balder return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Balder stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Balder, weep him out of Hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except for a giantess they find in a cave.
How made you feel?
Balder was never my friend, she says. Let Hell keep what she has. The Northmen say that the giantess must have been low.
You are guilty.
Was it worth it?
She thought she knew best.
She thought she had light within her.
She is pure darkness.
Do you remember what love feels like? What if this is pointless?
What are you doing? Why did you think you could make this work?
You keep seeing runes. You see runes everywhere.
Everywhere.
But what if they're not real?
What if they don't actually make sense?
What if they're a trick? The gods were lying. You think it makes sense, but really the gods are playing with you.
It makes sense in your mind, but it doesn't make sense in the real
Worlds. The gods allude, but it doesn't mean anything.
You can't read this language, you don't understand.
Zinbel was right.
You're wasting time.
You're cursed. Never succeed. Slow, quicker.
He led you astray.
You should have listened to your father when you had the chance.
Why didn't you listen to him?
His love has tortured you, and it tortures Dillian.
Be very, very careful.
Dillian never much cared for the underworld, and looked dimly upon the druids, like her father, Zinbel. I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see, and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillian's arms, learned to see the world through his eyes. Slowly, the darkness that had bound her so